Hello everyone, this is Ashley here, and we will try to cover uh, normal distribution part 2. Try to find the page. Right, so that's going to be on page 141 of the study guide. Now, before we do this, I will strongly suggest that you go through normal distribution part 1. Not too sure I have enough time to recap, but briefly, what we saw in normal distribution part 1, we look at the standard normal distribution where the mean is 0, the standard deviation is 1, and the variance is 1 square, which is 1. And we try to do some calculation using the standard normal distribution, and we also use the table which is on the last page of this booklet here. So for today we're looking at normal distribution part 2, and here the only difference you're going to see is when we have, for example, mean which is not equal to 0, and standard deviation which is not equal to 1, and variance not equal to 1 square. Seems to me that there's a mistake here. It should have been 25 instead of 259. So please correct this. It should be 25 here. Standard deviation is 25, so there is a mistake here. Right, so we're going to do the same thing, which is finding probability, and then we're going to de-standardize to see other questions as well. Now, if you look at this question, the computer manufacturer and so on, mean is 480 pounds, and standard deviation is 25 pounds here. So the way to answer it is I would expect you to define the variable. So X is the variable here, denoting the monthly advertising expenditure of computer showrooms. So this is worth writing down for the exams. Then you write your normal distribution in terms of notation, where X is the variable, follows the normal distribution, bracket the first value must be mean, the second value must be variance here. Right, so read your question. If standard deviation is given to you, then this number here should be 25 square, not 25. Right, so that's the question here. And to answer the question now, to answer the question, sorry, that's the question here. I'm sorry, this is just some explanation about the question, and this is where the specific question is. As example 1, find the probability that random selected showroom spends less than 528 pounds per month on advertising. Now, I'll skip this. I'll prefer explaining to you as from here. That's exactly the same thing. Now, this is the question. Remember, we have our normal distribution, and hence with the values given to me. Now, I always prefer, and that's a personal preference, I always prefer to write it as 25 square. That is the standard deviation to the square. I need the 25 in my calculation, and that's the only reason I choose to see the 25 early when I start writing the notation. Now, that's my question, and there is only one step you have to do to convert this normal distribution into a standard normal distribution, which was done last time. What we're going to do is, that's the question. Let's see what we have to do now as steps. There's only one step actually. All you have to do is, on the left side, the X, you will subtract the mean, as you can see on the numerator here, and you will divide by the standard deviation. That's the only thing you will do. So subtract the mean, and then numerator is divided by numerator. There you go. Right, so that's the step here. So on the left hand side, I'll subtract the mean, and I'll take the whole answer on the numerator. I'll divide by the standard deviation. That's the only step you have to do. Now, once on the left hand side, once I with X, once I subtract the mean and divide by standard deviation, I get the standard normal distribution. So x becomes z, and on the right hand side you can substitute the values. You know what is mean given to you in the question, and you know what is standard deviation given to you in the question. So instead of answering this question now, take your time and do the calculation yourself. I will answer this question same as this one. So that's the only step, and that's the only thing you need to learn today. Subtract the mean on left hand side, right hand side, and then divide by standard deviation on both sides as well. The x turns into a z, and the right hand side, instead of 528, we're going to get 1.92. So I repeat, instead of answering this question, it's exactly as this one. We're going to answer this question instead, because we do have the table of values for a standard normal distribution. That's going to be on the last page here. So you know what to do here. That's my question. The 1. So the 480 mean has been converted to 0. My variable 528 is now converted to 1.92, and I'm looking for less than. So this is the area here that I need to find. Less than is on the left, and you can go and scroll down and find the table of values to find 1.92, which is around, that's 1.90, 1.91, 1.92 is here. The probability answer is 0.9726. That's the answer for that question there. Right. There you go. That's the answer. Now, like I said, that's the only thing you have to do in normal distribution part 2. Let's try another question now. What's the probability that a randomly selected showroom spends between 500 and 539? So this is my question, right? On each side, so the central one, the left one, and the right hand side, I will subtract mean and I will divide by sigma. Let's start with the x. X minus mu divided by sigma will give you z always. I repeat, x minus mu divided by sigma here. That should give you z, right? So I've got my z. 500 minus 480 divided by 25 should give you 0.80. 539 minus 480 and the answer divided by 25, that should give you 2.36. Right, so instead of answering this question, I can answer that one, and that's the area between the two small z value here. That's not capital Z, that should be small z. And anyway, you know what to do here. We've tried question as such before. So there you go. Practice this. So I can't explain it here, but the good news is you've done it before and you know what to do here. So the answer should be 0.2028. I want you to practice this yourself and try to get the answer. So basically what it means here is, if you have a, I hope I can get this right, if you have a straight line and somewhere here the midpoint, let's say, it's a bit tough for me to type here, so I'll try to get it. If I can't, then we'll stop here. So let's try this. So right, so this is the 0 is around here, 0 is around here, then I'm looking for between 0.80 and 2.36. So let's assume that this is 0.80 and this is 2.36. Yeah, so I want to find, and remember there is a bell shape here which is a bit tough for me to draw right now. So I want to find the area between these 2 points, between these two values here. So the way we did it in the class is let's find the area from here to here. So remember there is a bell shape, so from this area, and then subtract the one from here. So basically we are looking at something like probability z less than 2.36 minus probability z less than 0.80. That should give you the answer. If you go through your part one, I'm pretty sure you will understand how to do this, right? And that's it. And similarly now, as before, excuse me, as before, we can have questions where probability is given to you, and you will have to find the z value, and it's going to be tricky because we will not have a standard normal distribution here. We'll have a general normal distribution. So, for example, this question, we have the mean as 25, the variance as 9, hence the standard deviation must be 3. That's 3 square here, right? So for me to answer this question, probability x less than u given 0.95, and I need to find the value of u here. Now let's think a little bit about where the value of u would lie, and u would be the right hand side of 0. Why? Because we have a less than sign which is shaded on the left, and the value here is more than 0.5. You know, by around, not around, but on the value 0 on the left hand side, the area will be 0.5. So because I have something more than 0.5, hence 0.95, I know for a fact that the value of u must be on the right side of 0. And I can think about how to get this now, and this is what we can do. So this is the question, and the value is given to me for the probability. Now let's convert this again to a standard normal distribution. Subtract mu and divide by sigma will give you z. Subtract mu, there you go, divide by sigma 3 should give you on the right hand side. So instead of answering this question, I will answer that question, and the probability is given to us. So first of all, probability is given to us, which means I will I will have this right now. 0.95 is the probability, so 0.95 is in between these two values here, right? So 1.64, 1.645, or 1.65, any one of them would do, and that's the z value. Right, so yeah, so from the table, this value here would be same as 1.64. Like I said, if someone would use 1.65, or just in the middle of 1.64 and 1.65 is 1.645, that's good enough, right? So if I then solve this and find u, I should get the value of u as 29.92. Again, something you want to practice. So another example here where we have probability given to you, and which side of the bell shape is it? Using the data, find what is the maximum amount of money spent on monthly expenditure by 25% of the showroom. So here we have a value which is unknown, and we have to find it, and it's telling me that it's been used by 25%. So from 0 to 25, clearly it must be a less than sign. So this question here can be converted to this one. So x minus mu divided by sigma will give me z. K minus mu divided by sigma, as you can see, would be whatever I'm highlighting here, and the probability is 0.25. Here as well, I will find using the table. I'm not going to scroll down, you can find it yourself. I will find the value of k minus 480 divided by 25. Now probability is given to you, so we need to use the inside part of the table and find the value of k minus 480 divided by 25. That looks like is 0. 0 minus 0.68. Double check this. So 0.25 is the probability. Remember, so where you need to look for the 0.25, and how do you find the minus 0.68? This number here is minus 0.68, and you can change subject of formula and find the value of K, which is 463 pounds. So quite easy. Like I've said, the only step that you need is how to convert a general normal distribution to a standard normal distribution, and the answer is you subtract the mean and then you divide by sigma. Now the next part, that's the last part, is definitely an exam question, and it's the easiest question you can think of. Now, what if we have the probability? Let's think about it. The probability of spending less than 528 pounds, which we saw earlier, in one showroom, randomly selected showroom, is this much. Now, what if we had 1200 showrooms, right? So let me repeat, the probability of spending less than 528 pounds is this much for one randomly selected showroom. What if we had 1200 showrooms? Then how many showrooms would you expect where the customers will be spending less than 528 pounds? All you have to do is take your probability for one showroom, multiply by the number of showrooms, and that should give you the expected number of computer showrooms where people will be spending less than 528 pounds. Now, from my experience, we've always had this type of question for the exam, so it's something that you want to understand and practice. That's it. You are welcome to do these questions and email to me your answers, and I can go through and discuss if I have to individually, or I can do another tutorial where we can discuss the solution. That's it for today. That's the end of normal distribution, and I will also now do some online tutorial or lecture based on the last chapter, which is in two parts, the differentiation chapter. Thank you for listening.